Hi, my name is Alexis, and I'm a new client onboarding specialist here at TaxValet. Today, we are going to be talking a little bit about the issues with do it yourself sales tax software and what happens if you aren't checking on that frequently. So, a few of the issues that we've run into recently with DIY sales tax software is issues with the tax collection settings. And then also, we've recently seen where the integrations break. And so the transactions are not flowing into the sales tax software. A couple of other things are ensuring that you review your monthly estimates for variances, as well as double checking those permit types, especially if you recently changed permits. An issue we've recently seen with a few clients is the tax collection settings not being set up properly. And specifically for Colorado and Louisiana, the local jurisdictions are not collecting at those local rates and instead are just collecting at a state rate, which results in under collection for the taxpayer. Similarly, we have seen permit types being set up correctly in these tax software, so it's collecting at the incorrect rate. So integrations can also get disconnected. And so this means that your transactions could possibly not be flowing into your tax software. So when that happens, it means that there are likely $0 in transactions that are showing up, which means those returns are not getting filed correctly. So it could potentially show that you didn't have any transactions that month. And if you don't double check this software to ensure that the correct amount is in there, it is likely you could be filing $0 returns and not even being aware of it. This means that you would not be collecting tax at all. You would likely be filing $0 returns. And this means there could potentially be large liabilities for your company. If you're filing $0 returns, then you're going to need to go back and amend those returns, which is likely at an additional cost to you and your business, as well as having penalties and interest on top of those returns. So if you are not checking this each month, then that could potentially mean that you are not having returns filed at all, or $0 returns are filed, or you're just remitting the wrong amount to the state. And so you would have to go in as the business owner and make sure these are set up properly, collecting at the correct rate, that they're being filed with the correct state under the correct permit type. And so recently we've noticed for one client specifically where the May 2023 there was a disconnection with the integration. And so the client unfortunately didn't go in and check that until a few months later. They realized there were no returns filed in 8 states for May of 2023, and there were $0 returns filed for 3 states. And so that has huge implications as far as what the penalties and interest could be due to that state over time had they not caught that within a few months. When clients come through the onboarding process, we work hand in hand with the permits team. And so the specific job of our permit specialist at the beginning of onboarding is to go through your existing permits, make sure that you have the correct permit type, and they're also going to be looking through and making sure that you don't have any back filings, and if you do, what months were missed for those returns. Another issue you can run into with DIY sales tax software is the company potentially submitting double returns on your behalf. Again, we recently ran into this with a client where there were two returns being submitted each month. There was one in the correct amount, and there was also one for $0. While this isn't a huge issue because the correct amount was being filed, it could potentially raise a red flag to the state that you're submitting two returns each month. And this could eventually possibly lead to an audit, which has large costs implied whenever you're working with a third party. Sometimes you have to, that's not included in your contract, to go through the audit process. Setting up taxes is so important for your business just to ensure that you're collecting at the correct amount. Again, if you're not collecting at the correct amount, this could have large implications regarding the under collection and then any penalties and interest that could be owed. Also, if you go through onboarding with TaxValet, this is something that we really dig into as soon as you start. We review all of your sales channels and go through where you have existing permits. We also go through your products and try to review those with you regarding potential exemptions. So this is something that would get caught very early with TaxValet. If you are looking at a DIY sales tax software, you probably think that it is a set it and forget it type of program, when in reality, it's not. But if you come to TaxValet, you really lose the stress and the hassle of sales tax because we are going through everything with a fine tooth comb. If this is something you would be interested in, you can visit our website, thetaxvalet.com, where you can schedule an initial consultation call and we can go over your account in more detail.